Ever felt like life was throwing everything at you? You're not alone. We all go through tough times. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that can help you navigate these storms with grace and resilience? Enter Stoicism. This philosophy, born in ancient Greece, offers practical tools for living a good life, no matter what life throws your way. The Stoics weren't about denying your emotions or pretending everything is sunshine and rainbows. Instead, they taught us how to accept what we can't change and focus on what we can control. Think of life as a roller coaster. There are highs and there are lows. The Stoics would say, it's okay to enjoy the highs, but don't get too attached to them. And when the lows come, remember that they won't last forever. In this guide, we'll dive deep into the Stoic toolkit. We'll explore concepts like virtue, reason, and the importance of focusing on what's within our control. Along the way, we'll share real-world examples and practical exercises to help you apply these ancient wisdoms to your modern life. So, whether you're facing a job loss, a breakup, or just feeling overwhelmed by the daily grind, this guide is for you. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how Stoicism can help you weather any storm. Lesson 1. Chill out and focus on what you can control. Ever caught yourself stressing about something you can't change? Like, really can't change? Whether it's the traffic jam that's making you late for work or the outcome of a sports game, sometimes it feels like the whole world is conspiring against us. The Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers who were all about keeping their cool, had a pretty simple solution. Focus on what you can control. What does that even mean? It means that there are some things in life that we just can't change. The weather, other people's opinions, and even the outcome of certain events are all outside of our control. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, and some things aren't. It's our reaction to these things that truly matters. Why is this important? Well, for starters, it saves you a ton of stress. Imagine spending all your energy worrying about things that you can't do anything about. It's like trying to push a boulder up a hill. Exhausting, right? By focusing on what you can control, you're channeling your energy into productive activities and building your resilience. How can I do this? Identify what you can control. Make a list of things that are within your power. This might include your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions to external events. Let go of what you can't. Accept that there are some things you simply cannot change. Trying to control the uncontrollable is a recipe for frustration. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings in the present moment. This can help you become more aware of your reactions to external events. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on the things you are grateful for. This can shift your perspective and help you appreciate the good in your life. Let's take an example. You're stuck in a long line at the grocery store. You could get angry and start yelling at the cashier, or you could use this time to listen to a podcast, catch up on some emails, or simply relax and enjoy a few moments of peace. The choice is yours. Remember, you have more control over your life than you think. By focusing on what you can control, you'll experience less stress, more peace, and a greater sense of well-being. It's all about choosing your battles. Lesson 2. Practice mindfulness. Be here now. All right, so we've talked about how focusing on what you can control is key to a more peaceful life. But how do you actually do that? One of the most powerful tools in the Stoics' toolbox is mindfulness. What is mindfulness anyway? It's basically being fully present in the moment. It's about paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. It's like hitting the pause button on life and really feeling what's going on. Why is it so important? Well, our minds are like monkeys, jumping from thought to thought. Mindfulness helps us to tame that monkey mind and bring it back to the present moment. This can help reduce stress, improve focus, and increase our overall sense of well-being. The Stoics had a similar concept called prosos, which translates to attention or heedfulness. They believed that by paying close attention to the present moment, we could better understand our emotions and reactions and make more rational decisions. How can you practice mindfulness? Meditation. This is the classic way to practice mindfulness. There are tons of guided meditations available online or through apps. Deep breathing. Take a few deep breaths throughout the day to calm your mind and body. Mindful eating. Pay attention to the taste, texture, and smell of your food. Nature walks. Spend time in nature and notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Body scans. Pay attention to different parts of your body and notice any sensations. Let's say you're feeling stressed about a big presentation at work. Instead of letting your mind race with negative thoughts, try this. Take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Bring your attention back to your breath whenever your mind wanders. Remember, mindfulness isn't about trying to clear your mind of all thoughts. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment. The goal is to simply be present in the moment, whatever that moment may bring. Here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Lesson 3. Cultivate virtue. Become the best version of yourself. All right, so we've covered the basics of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control and practicing mindfulness. Now let's talk about something a little more deep: virtue. What is virtue anyway? In simple terms, virtue is excellence of character. It's about being the best version of yourself. The Stoics believed that by cultivating certain virtues, we could live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Why is virtue important? Well, think of it like this. Your character is like a garden. If you don't tend to it, it will grow wild and unruly. By cultivating virtue, you're essentially planting seeds of goodness in your soul. What are some key Stoic virtues? Wisdom. This is about seeking knowledge and understanding. It's about making wise decisions, even when faced with difficult choices. Courage. This isn't about being fearless, but about acting in accordance with your values, even when it's difficult. Justice. This is about treating others fairly and equitably. Temperance. This is about moderation and self-control. How can you cultivate virtue? Practice daily. Like any skill, virtue takes practice. Start small and gradually increase your efforts. Reflect on your actions. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on your actions. Were they in line with your values? Learn from your mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is to learn from them and grow. Surround yourself with good people. The people you spend time with have a big impact on your character. Read great works of philosophy. The Stoics, as well as other philosophers, have a lot to teach us about living a virtuous life. Let's say you're tempted to gossip about a coworker. By choosing to keep your mouth shut, you're demonstrating the virtue of justice. Or perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed at work. By taking a deep breath and continuing to work diligently, you're practicing the virtue of temperance. Remember, becoming a virtuous person is a journey, not a destination. It's about making conscious choices every day to be the best version of yourself. Here's a quote from Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Lesson 4. Embrace discomfort. Your comfort zone is a lie. Okay, so we've talked about controlling what we can, being present, and cultivating virtue. Now let's get a little uncomfortable. That's right, I said uncomfortable, because let's face it, life is full of it. But the Stoics had a pretty interesting take on discomfort. They embraced it. Why would anyone want to be uncomfortable? Well, think about it. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself and push your limits. Discomfort is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger you become. The Stoics called this negative visualization. It's the practice of imagining the worst-case scenario. Sounds morbid, right? But hear me out. By imagining the worst, you're actually preparing yourself mentally for whatever life throws your way. How can you embrace discomfort? Step outside your comfort zone. Try new things, even if you're scared. Take that dance class or speak up in a meeting. Practice delayed gratification. Resist the urge to seek instant gratification. Save money instead of splurging, or work out instead of watching TV. Embrace challenges. View challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Meditate on discomfort. Spend a few minutes each day focusing on physical discomfort, like holding a cold ice pack or sitting in an uncomfortable position. Let's say you're afraid of public speaking. Instead of avoiding it, challenge yourself to give a short presentation. It might be scary, but it's an opportunity to overcome your fear and build your confidence. Remember, discomfort is a natural part of life. By embracing it, you're not only becoming more resilient, but you're also living a more authentic life. Here's a quote from Seneca. "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Lesson 5. Practice gratitude. Count your blessings. All right, so we've been talking about a lot of heavy stuff. Controlling what we can, being mindful, cultivating virtue, and even embracing discomfort. But let's balance things out with something a little more positive. Gratitude. What is gratitude, anyway? It's simply the quality of being thankful. It's about appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small. The Stoics believed that gratitude was a powerful tool for happiness. Why is gratitude important? When you focus on what you're grateful for, it shifts your perspective from what you lack to what you have. This can help reduce stress, improve your mood, and strengthen your relationships. How can you practice gratitude? Gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Gratitude meditation. Focus on things you're grateful for during your meditation practice. Express gratitude. Tell people you appreciate them. Notice the little things. Pay attention to the small moments of joy in your life. Let's say you're having a tough day at work. Instead of focusing on all the things that are going wrong, try to shift your perspective. Think about the people who support you, the roof over your head, or the delicious meal you had for lunch. The Stoics called this negative visualization and positive visualization. By focusing on the negative, you can prepare yourself for the worst. But by focusing on the positive, you can cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation. Here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Lesson 6. Let go of the past. The past is over. Okay, so we've been talking about a lot of ways to improve our present moment. But what about the past? We've all got baggage, right? Hurts, regrets, mistakes. It's part of being human. The Stoics had a pretty clear-cut answer to this. let it go. Why is holding on to the past so harmful? Dwelling on the past is like driving a car while looking in the rearview mirror. You're not going to get where you're going if you're constantly looking back. The past is over, and there's nothing you can do to change it. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control again. We can't control the past, but we can control our reactions to it. How can you let go of the past? Acceptance. Accept that what happened, happened. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself and others for past mistakes. Focus on the present. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded in the present moment. Set goals for the future. Focus on what you want to achieve, not what you've lost. Let's say you had a big fight with a friend a year ago. You might still be holding on to resentment, but holding on to that resentment is only hurting you. By forgiving your friend and letting go of the anger, you're freeing yourself from that emotional burden. Remember, the past is a teacher, not a prison. We can learn valuable lessons from our experiences, but we don't have to let them define us. Here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Lesson 7. Don't fear the future. It's not here yet. All right, so we've tackled the past. Now let's talk about the future. We've all felt that knot of anxiety about what's to come. The Stoics had a pretty clear perspective on this. Worrying about the future is a waste of energy. Why is worrying about the future so pointless? The future is uncertain. We can't predict it. Worrying about it is like trying to control the weather. It's a waste of time and energy. Plus, worrying often leads to stress and anxiety, which can negatively impact our lives. The Stoics called this preoccupation with things that are not present. It's essentially living in a world of what-ifs and maybes. How can we stop worrying about the future? Focus on the present. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded in the current moment. Plan for the future. Set goals and make plans, but don't get too attached to the outcome. Accept uncertainty. Understand that life is full of uncertainties. Live in the moment. Enjoy the little things in life. Let's say you have a big job interview coming up. Instead of worrying about what might happen, focus on preparing for the interview. Do your research, practice your answers, and then let go of the outcome. Remember, the future is not set in stone. We have the power to shape our own lives, but we can't control everything. Here's a quote from Seneca. "Two elements must therefore be rooted out once for all: the fear of future suffering and the recollection of past suffering, since the latter no longer concerns me, and the former concerns me not yet." Lesson 8. Seek knowledge. Your mind is a muscle. All right, so we've been talking a lot about controlling our minds, our emotions, and our reactions. But how do we actually grow? The answer is simple: knowledge. Why is knowledge so important? Knowledge is power. The more you know, the better equipped you are to handle life's challenges. It's like building a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. The Stoics believed that philosophy was a way of life, not just a subject to study. They believed that by constantly seeking knowledge and understanding, we could improve our lives and the lives of those around us. How can you seek knowledge? Read books, articles, blogs, anything that stimulates your mind. Learn a new skill, take a class, learn a new language, or pick up a new hobby. Talk to people. Have conversations with people from different backgrounds and perspectives. Ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. Let's say you're curious about a particular topic. Instead of just accepting what you hear, do some research. Read books, articles, and watch documentaries. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to form your own opinions. Remember, learning is a lifelong journey. It's never too late to start. Here's a quote from Epictetus. "The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and distinguish between what I can and cannot control." Lesson 9. Practice self-discipline. Master your mind. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground, from controlling what we can to seeking knowledge. But how do we put all this into practice? The answer is simple: self-discipline. What is self-discipline? Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses and do what you need to do, even when you don't want to. It's about training your mind to overcome distractions and stay focused on your goals. The Stoics believed that self-discipline was the key to a good life. They argued that by controlling our impulses, we could achieve inner peace and live in harmony with the universe. How can you practice self-discipline? Set goals. Having clear goals gives you something to work towards. Create a routine. A routine can help you stay on track and avoid procrastination. Break down tasks. Large tasks can be overwhelming. Break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Reward yourself. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Let's say you want to start exercising regularly. It might be tempting to skip a workout, but by exercising self-discipline, you can stick to your plan. You could start by setting a small goal, like working out for 20 minutes 3 times a week. Remember, self-discipline is a muscle that needs to be strengthened. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Here's a quote from Epictetus. "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Lesson 10. Live simply. Less is more all right. We've covered a lot of ground, from controlling our minds to seeking knowledge. Now let's talk about something a little more tangible: our possessions. The Stoics had a pretty clear perspective on this. Less is more. Why is simplicity important? When we simplify our lives, we reduce stress and increase our freedom. Possessions can become burdens, tying us down and preventing us from living fully. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from within, not from external things. They argued that we should focus on our relationships, our values, and our contributions to society. How can you live more simply? Minimalism. Get rid of things you don't need or use. Experience over things. Prioritize experiences over material possessions. Digital detox. Limit your screen time and reduce digital clutter. Mindful consumption. Be mindful of your purchases and avoid impulse buying. Let's say you're surrounded by clutter. Your home is filled with stuff you haven't used in years. By decluttering, you're not only freeing up space, but you're also freeing up your mind. Remember, possessions don't define you. Your value as a person is not determined by what you own. Here's a quote from Seneca. "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Lesson 11. Question everything. Don't just believe, understand. All right, so far we've talked about controlling our minds, seeking knowledge, and simplifying our lives. But how do we really grow? How do we challenge ourselves to think deeper and question everything? The answer lies in one simple act: questioning everything. Why is questioning so important? Questioning is the foundation of critical thinking. It helps us to see beyond the surface level and to understand the underlying reasons for things. It also helps us to challenge our own beliefs and assumptions. The Stoics were masters of questioning. They encouraged their students to constantly question everything they believed, to examine their values, and to seek out alternative perspectives. How can you question everything? Ask why. Always ask why things are the way they are. Challenge assumptions. Don't take anything at face value. Seek out different perspectives. Read widely and talk to people with different viewpoints. Be open-minded. Be willing to change your mind when presented with new evidence. Let's say you've always believed that a certain political party is right about everything. By questioning your beliefs, you might discover that there are valid arguments on the other side. You might even find that your own beliefs are based on misinformation or prejudice. Remember, questioning isn't about being argumentative. It's about seeking truth and understanding. Here's a quote from Socrates: "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Lesson 12. Help others. It's not just the right thing to do, it's the good life. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on personal growth and development, but what about the world around us? How can we make a difference? The answer is simple: help others. Why is helping others so important? Helping others not only makes the world a better place, but it also makes us feel good. It connects us to something larger than ourselves and gives our lives meaning. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected. They argued that helping others is not just a moral obligation, but a fundamental part of human nature. How can you help others? Volunteer. Give your time to a cause you care about. Be kind. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Support your community. Get involved in your local community. Mentor others. Share your knowledge and experience with others. Let's say you see someone struggling. Maybe they're lost, or they're having a bad day. By offering a helping hand, you're not only making their day a little brighter, but you're also connecting with another human being. Remember, we're all in this together. By helping others, we're creating a better world for everyone. Here's a quote from Seneca: "We are born for cooperation, as feet, as hands, as eyelids, as the upper and lower teeth." So there you have it, 12 powerful tools from the Stoic toolkit to help you navigate life's inevitable storms. Remember, Stoicism isn't about denying your emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It's about accepting what you can't change and focusing on what you can control. It's about finding peace within the chaos. It's about cultivating a resilient mindset that allows you to face adversity with courage and grace. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This means that our perceptions shape our reality. By changing our perspective, we can change our experience. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Countless others have faced similar challenges and found strength in Stoic philosophy. By applying these principles to your own life, you can build a more resilient and fulfilling existence. So, go forth and practice these Stoic techniques. And remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters."